guys, welcome to Rihanna's Lens, where I interact with you about the components in the STEM field and introduce you to fascinating people who passionately inhabit the scientific and technical frontiers of our society. My name is Rihanna Malhotra, and I'm absolutely elated to share this podcast with all of you. On this episode, I'm joined by a guest who's a science illustrator. She was initially a bioinformatician, but she felt a stronger pull towards art, as she feels that illustrations speak louder than just words. I'm so glad to welcome and introduce Soma Ghosh. Thank you so much for coming on. I can't wait to begin our discussion.
Thank you. Thank you so much for giving this wonderful introduction. I'm really pleased that you have invited me in your podcast.
Yeah, I'm so excited to talk to you and know more about your profession. I feel like it's so interesting. So let's just get started. I want to ask you that what exactly is it that drove you from bioinformatics to science illustration?
Yeah, I actually think myself as a very visual person. So when I started off as a bioinformatician, we most of the time has to analyze data visually, and then parallelly I was also taking classes and teaching, initiating projects and taking mentoring some girls in bioinformatician. So there I found that most of the people who are like not so much aware of uh, um, certain things are very comfortable in understanding visual. So from there I was thinking of trying to explain things through illustration, through drawing some stuffs and all. And from there, I was simply just doing my stuffs. Like I was just simply trying to explain things through visually, and I was just posting into Instagram. And then suddenly, it's like very accidentally, I got to know about Science Illustration when I was posting. I just found out one artist. She was a scientist as well as an artist. From there, from her, her name is Ipsha Jain. From her, I learned that there is a field called Science Illustration where you have to communicate science through illustration. Like you don't need to write many things. Like you don't have to explain things through words. You just have to draw, and then the viewer or the person who is just seeing can understand whatever you are trying to explain through illustration. So from there, I learned that there is a field called Science Illustration. As I am a visual person, so I thought that it will be better suited for my career that I should go into Science Illustration.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I know there are a lot of visual learners out there. So this science illustration is really beneficial for all of them. And because some people can't just understand by reading concepts. Somewhere down the line they understand by drawing images, and I think that's really beneficial.
Most
And
important thing is, what I understood from my personal experience is that there are many other subjects which are not so popular, like arts. Art, like we are not told in our younger age that art can be a career. Like so so that's the main problem. Like when I first learned about this Science Illustration, I was not aware. There are many other subjects, many other fields that we are not aware of it and we don't apply. So it's very important to aware such subjects, such areas, such field of interest to the public, so that people who are have knack in art or knack in science can take this field or apply in this way.
yeah, art as a subject really needs more recognition, as some people don't consider that field as a profession, but there's so many directions that you can go into with art.
Right,
And
right.
is there anyone that inspired you to get into this field?
Yes, absolutely. See, there are many artists and scientists who are doing very good. in their field. Like first and foremost is Dr. Merritt. You must have heard of her. She is a physicist, quantum physicist. She is a ballerina artist, and she uh, make videos which with her robots. Like she dance and she try to inculcate in that robot. So it's a very creative thing she does. She's the one who has a group named Science Art Party, where she encouraged every artist and scientist to come together and do some collaboration work. She's the one who has inspired me to combine science and art. And another one is Dr. Ipsha Jain, from where I learned that science illustration can be a career. She is the one. This both people are the one who has inspired me to go into the science illustration field. And of course, when I started to share my illustration, there are many people in my Instagram account that have encouraged me to go forward for this career.
Wow, that's great. And what's your favorite science illustration that you have ever done?
I love every illustration that I have done so far, but the most important thing which I enjoy doing is I don't have any particular favorite. I would say every illustration is my favorite, but what I love is interacting with the client, what they exactly want uh, from me, like what illustration they wanted to have, whatever their ideas that I had to draw. Those process I love. Um, Rest, I don't have any favorite. Every work of mine, I will say, it's unique, it's different, and I love every bit of my illustration.
That's amazing. And as a artist, you said that you think illustrations are a better platform or they speak louder than just words. Do you think that applies everywhere and in
Yeah,
science?
yeah, actually, like I had read somewhere like human brain catches 60,000 times faster than words. Like if you want to explain something in 60,000 words, it requires 60,000 words. It's better that it can be explained in one picture. So I find it like picture speaks louder than words, because you don't have to write so many things. You can just illustrate and the viewer can catch what you are trying to explain. So I of course I like, what was the question? Sorry, absolutely I forgot. Yeah, picture speaks louder than words. Yes.
Yeah, and also, like you said, that it's easier to just look at one picture rather than reading like so many words in front of you, and it won't also become monotonous. You know that you'll be more focused and you'll find it more fascinating looking at images rather than just reading so many words and getting bored of it.
It becomes very easier to explain things when you are trying to explain through pictures, like like if you're trying to explain something about like for example, like if you want to try to explain to a layman about some very complex thing, then it can be explained through a visual. Like you are just illustrating it, and then the person who is not, who doesn't have so much of knowledge about that particular subject, can understand through the visual. You don't need to uh, explain things or speak about it. It's just in one picture it can be explained.
Yeah, definitely. And you're also interested in the STEM field. So, why do you think more people and why should there be more diversity in these fields?
Like it's very important to have a diverse background in STEM, because most of them like are not encouraged to take up science and technology, because most of the time it is known as a boys thing. Like when I was working in bioinformatics, most of them were boys. There were not many girls or not many people from diverse background. So if we have a diverse background, then there are many ideas we can share from different background. We can share our ideas when we can discuss many things. So it's really important to have a collaborative and um, collaborative idea or collaborative research work where diverse people come together and work in it. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. And who knows that if you look at one problem, another person who must be facing discrimination knows more about that topic than any other
Right.
person who is more favored in the STEM fields. And even if you look at the numbers, there are not many diverse people because they're scared that they'll be discriminated in these fields. So that's something that we really need to work on and spread
Need
more
to work on.
awareness.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And were there any other challenges that you faced being in STEM in as a bioinformatician?
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like when I was working, then most of my teammates were men. So it is considered as a male-dominating field in bioinformatics. Not many people were, not many girls were in bioinformatician because they think like coding and programming is a boys thing and it's not a girl thing. Like females are not so much good in programming and all such stuff. And I have personally found that many girls are scared to do programming because they had been programmed that they cannot do such things. Like they have that mindset that probably they won't be able to find that solution. They won't be able to do such things because they haven't done it before. So I personally, when I was mentoring girls, I personally told them it's fine. We really don't have to know anything. When I started, I didn't know anything. I just started very scratch. When I started, I had some difficulties. I had some problems. So you also try when you are doing so. So it's very important to encourage girls to take up STEM field because most of the time it is believed that STEM is a boys thing, which I had faced. Like it's a boys thing. People think there are many people who still view career in science and technology as a man's thing um, or a boys thing. Like so, it's very important to encourage girls to make it a what should I say, a equal platform for everyone.
Yeah, true. And this mindset actually begins from such a small age. If you ask a younger group of
Yeah,
children, they will think that a man in a lab coat is what they imagine a scientist to be.
correct.
Or even in cartoons, you'll witness that they show more of men as scientists or in the STEM field. So I think we need, if we change that from a younger age, then kids will start seeing that, oh, there are women that can wear these lab coats and perform experiments. So they can come from all sort of backgrounds.
Yeah, it's really important to encourage girls in a very young age, like from whom you should encourage girls to take up science or um, show something which, like, um, it should represent that women are doing this instead of giving dolls or instead of giving something which is like considered as female thing. We should also encourage girls to take up certain toys or certain what should I say games which encourages girls to take up STEM field.
Yeah, totally. And lastly, is there any advice that you would like to give to anyone wanting to join the same field as yours?
Yes, of course. Like the one advice which I always give to my students, like whom I mentor, is don't get so scared of things which you don't know. It's fine if you don't know. Like whenever we start, nobody knows anything when we start. It's the research what we are going to do. is the thing that we don't know, that is why we are going to do. So don't get scared if you don't know something. It's really nice that you don't know, because you will be able to explore so many things. So, and this is one advice, like don't hold yourself back just because you don't know. Just go for it, take risk, and you will have a good time knowing things.
Yeah, completely. Thank you so much for that amazing advice. Well, that's it for today. Thank you so much for taking your time out and coming on my podcast. To let all of you know, this podcast is now available on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Breaker, Google Podcasts, Radio Public, and PocketCast. Make sure you subscribe to all listening platforms and stay tuned for more. Soma, is there anything you'd like to say before we log off?
I really enjoyed speaking to you. It was my first time speaking in this podcast. I hope I have answered all of your questions. Currently, I guess I was so nervous, but it's not fine. I really enjoyed talking to you, and
Yeah, me
speaking
too.
with
I
you.
had a great time getting to know your experiences and insights. I'm sure the audience must have enjoyed it as well.